Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 50 of 2023 we had 110 tournaments with a total of 1,817 players and 6,070 games played. This week the Space Marines topped the charts with 18 wins and 68 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing is 20.9, a slight improvement on last week. The Necrons have a very good week with 15 wins and 37 top 3 placings. They have a weighted placing of 6.7, which is the best overall. The new Necron Codex is looking very good, with a massive improvement from last time, where they got 7 wins and a weighted placing of 17. I think this is the best start for a 10th edition Codex so far. It'll be interesting to see if it continues. Chaos Space Marines come next with 10 wins and a weighted placing of 14.7. This is a decent improvement on the weighted placing of 18.4 they got last week. The World Eaters see a return to form with 8 wins and a weighted placing of 12, the third best overall. Last time they got a weighted placing of 37.7, and I estimated that they had just had a bad week. Their result does suggest that I was correct in that assumption. Eldari are the last faction in blue with 7 wins and a weighted placing of 16.7. They have dropped back a little from the weighted placing of 14.5 they got last time. With the new Necrons performing so well, perhaps they have taken a few wins off them, as they only have 2 less top 3 placings. Their sisters top the green group with 6 wins and a weighted placing of 11.3, the second best overall. They get a very similar weighted placing to last week, suggesting they are starting to have some consistent results. The Orcs get 5 wins, 23 top 3 placings, and a weighted placing of 17.6. Their weighted placing is a bit higher than last week, however, they only have 1 less top 3 placing. Perhaps they are another victim of the Necrons' newfound success. The Death Guard drop out of the blue group, with 5 wins and a weighted placing of 21.6. They've got a slightly worse result, but it is still good considering they have been struggling in 10th. The Tyranids see an improvement with 5 wins and a weighted placing of 21.2, which is much better than the 53.3 they got last time. The Tau get 4 wins with 14 top 3 placings and a weighted placing of 24.5. This is a significant decrease on the 7 wins and a weighted placing of 16.6 they got last week. Chaos Knights also get 4 wins with a weighted placing of 18. They got 1 less win, but do have a better weighted placing this time out. Their Imperial counterparts are the last faction in green, with 4 wins and a weighted placing of 12.8. This is a stark improvement on the 1 win and a weighted placing of 60 they got in last week's stats. They only get a few more wins, but as they have a relatively small player base, it has led to a dramatic swing in their weighted placing. We do see a few less factions in yellow, with the Grey Knights topping the group, with 3 wins, 8 top 3 placings, and a weighted placing of 17. The Legions of Votann get the exact same wins and top 3s, with a higher weighted placing of 24.4. They are not performing quite as well as they have been doing since the last balance change, but this is much better than the 46.5 they got last week. The new Adeptus Mechanicus Codex doesn't quite have the same impact as the Necrons, with 2 wins and a weighted placing of 17, the same as last time. We see many of the usual factions in yellow, with high weighted placings. Only the 2 sub-factions get a good weighted placing due to their incredibly small player base. 25 factions manage at least 1 top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 223. The Necrons storm into second place with 97 top 10 placings, nearly double what they got last week. The Eldari remain in third on 70 top 10 placings. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 21.13% of all players taking them. Necrons are the second most popular faction on 7.82%, followed by Chaos Space Marines in third on 6.44%. As the Necrons are a popular faction in general, I was expecting them to be in the top 3 now they have their Codex. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. As the 2 factions in blue do not have full indexes, this week Necrons top the win rates with 57%. The Necron Codex has really made a huge impact, considering they only got a win rate of 47.4% last week. The book does have some very strong options, with the Canoptek Court in particular looking good. Their stratagems and detachment ability can lead to some powerful combos, such as the massive damage you can get from Immortals equipped with Teslas. Through a stratagem you can give them devastating wounds, and they can get full rerolls when they have a Cryptek in tow, and they target an enemy on an objective. If you choose a Plasmancer, your sustained hits too will go off on a 5+ rather than 6. This leads to a serious amount of hits from a 10-man squad, considering they can reroll everything which isn't a 5 or 6. The new Overlord also works particularly well with them, as his ability to auto-advance 6 inches through units and terrain is very nice on the Assault Teslas. This is just one combo which many people have pointed out looks very strong, with a wide range of other units also looking good. As a Necron collector myself, I am looking forward to playing some now very tanky Catan shards. It will be interesting to see how they continue to perform and how they will affect the meta going forward. The Eldari have to settle for second with a win rate of 55.1%. This is very similar to their previous win rate, so they are still of course performing well. Chaos Space Marines are the first faction in the Goldilocks zone with a win rate of 54.1%, a slight improvement for them. Imperial Knights have a win rate of 54%, which does explain why they won more tournaments this week. The Death Guard are the last faction in green with a win rate of 50.4%. We see a lot more factions in yellow, with Sisters topping the group with a win rate of 49.6%, a very slight decrease on last time. Orcs, Chaos Knights and World Eaters have all seen significant drops in their win rates, as they were all over 52% last week. The Tau and Votan also see big drops, getting a win rate of 48.7% and 47.2% respectively. The Space Marines performed slightly better than last time, with a win rate of 46.8%. Custodies managed to just get themselves in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 45.5%. We do see one more faction below the zone this week, with Guard, Tyranids, Demons and Drukhari still struggling. Unfortunately, the new Adeptus Mechanicus Codex is on the bottom with a win rate of 36.6%. For me, this is a very disappointing result, as they were already struggling before they got their new rules. I have not had a chance to look at their rules personally, but I hope it is just a case of players trying to work out the new codex. They do have a reputation as one of the most complex factions in 40k rules-wise. Eldari top the Leviathan Part 2 win rates with 57.9%. Chaos Space Marines have taken second place with a win rate of 53.8%. The Lisa Votan have dropped back into third place. They now have a win rate of 53.6%. The World Eaters remain in fourth with a win rate of 52.4%, followed by Orcs on 51.6%. Chaos Knights are the last full faction in green with a win rate of 50.9%. The Tau take over at the top of yellow with a win rate of 49.4%. After their rough week, the Admech have dropped back with a win rate of 48.6%. The rest of the rankings are very similar, with the Space Marines on a 46.6% win rate. The Tyranids are close behind on 46.5%. The Necrons have moved up the table after their good week with a win rate of 46.4%. The Leviathan win rate really emphasises how much they have been struggling recently. It seems as though their win rate will increase rather quickly if the new Codex continues to get the best win rate on the weekly. We see the same factions below the Goldilocks zone, with Astra Militarum on a win rate of 44.3%. Drukhari and Custodians are at the bottom, both with a 43.6% win rate. As the two chapters ahead only have a single player, this week the Death Watch topped the charts with a win rate of 59.3%. A very good week for them, although they only had 8 players. The Salamanders are the first faction in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 54.7%. The third most popular chapter, the Black Templars, see a slight improvement, with a win rate of 53.8%. The Space Wolves are the last chapter in green, with a win rate of 52.8%. The second most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, top the yellow group, with a win rate of 47%. The Blood Angels see a big improvement on last week, getting in the Goldilocks zone with a win rate of 45.8%. The Iron Hands get a win rate of 44.4%, with the Imperial Fists on 43.6%. We do see less chapters in red this time, with the most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, topping the group with a 39.8% win rate. The Raven Guard and White Scars are at the bottom, with a win rate of 26.3% and 16.7% respectively. Some of the chapters do perform worse this time, but overall Space Marines have improved from last week's stats. The second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, top the Leviathan Part 2 win rates with 53.3%. The Space Wolves remain in green, with a 50.5% win rate. The Death Watch top the yellow group with a win rate of 47%. The most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, have a win rate of 46%, followed by the Iron Hands on 45.5%. The Salamanders come next with a win rate of 45.1%, with the Blood Angels just getting in the Goldilocks zone with a 45% win rate. Phyllis's favourite Blue Boys and third most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, on a win rate of 43.1%. The Imperial Fists have a win rate of 42.6%, with the Raven Guard on 41.1%, and the White Scars on a 34.1% win rate. This week, the majority of the Chaos Space Marine warbands are unknown, so we go straight into Leviathan so far. The Red Corsairs top the win rates with 59.4%, with the Word Bearers on a 53.9% win rate. The most popular warband, the Black Legion, get a win rate of 52.1%, followed by the Alpha Legion and Night Lords, who both get a win rate of 51.5%. The Iron Warriors get a win rate of 48.7%, with the Emperor's Children at the bottom with a 46.1% win rate. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.